To be strong, healthy, happy, and successful, then this video is for you. If not, then continue being depressed, unhappy, and working to the 9 to 5 job. This is my full guide to self-improvement. This will go through every single thing that you need to do in order to change your life. Step-by-step process. It's pretty simple to follow. I'll be going in detail on every single topic, and this will be a very long form video. The first thing is mental health, and I have a notebook here which has all my notes of stuff I want to cover. So if you see me looking down, you'll know what that's for. So with mental health is the most important thing. It is literally the foundation for everything else in your life. If you are depressed and unhappy, there is a very low chance that you're going to be able to do the hard work and actually get things done. It also makes you extremely miserable if you have poor mental health, and it's just a bad thing in general. So we don't want poor mental health. You want to have good mental health. You want to be happy and disciplined, mindful and present. You want to be able to do the hard work and enjoy it, as well as achieve your wildest dreams. This is all mental health. Everything else that I'll talk about in this video is based on mental health. So make sure you pay attention to this. So to improve your mental health, we'll start with the first thing that you should do, which is meditation. Do mindfulness meditation morning and night, because mindfulness meditation improves your mindfulness, your presence, and it improves your overall happiness in your day-to-day life. Meditation is one of the best important things for mental health. It is literally like a golden nugget for mental health. It's amazing. So much value for so little effort. To do mindfulness meditation, all you have to do is simply focus on one thing. Normally it's the breath. You'll focus on your breath and you'll get distracted, which will be the second step. You'll not even realize this step. It will normally happen really quickly. You'll just get distracted. And the third step is realizing you're distracted. And the fourth step is coming back to your breath again. By doing this, you train yourself to be more aware of when you lose your chain of thought. If you're focused on your work and you get distracted with something, if you're not mindful enough, you won't notice that and you'll continue to be distracted, which decreases your productivity and makes it very hard to actually achieve things you want to do. It also allows you to be mindful of your emotions and reactions, which is useful for another thing which I'll cover later on in this video. But meditation in general makes you more mindful and improves your mental health. So start doing that. The next thing is gratitude journaling, which is basically one of the most simplest, easiest things you can do. You get a piece of paper out, and in the morning and at night, you'll write, I am grateful for, and then you will write 4 or 5 things you're grateful for, and why. By doing this, you train yourself to become more grateful, and just really think of things that you're grateful for. It can be literally anything. You can be grateful for dirt, you can be grateful for things that you actually don't enjoy. Like, if there's a problem in your life, you can be grateful for that it's happened, and it allows you to take a positive spin on everything. So you're able to be positive in negative situations, as well as be grateful for lots of things. And gratitude is like, I would say, it's happiness on command. It allows you to, if you're grateful for something right now, do this with me. Think of one thing which you are grateful for. Anything. Look around your room, look around wherever you are, and think of one thing, and then think of why you're grateful for it. So like for me, I'll sit here and go, I'm grateful for my lamp, because it allows me to have good lighting for my videos. That already made me happier than I was before. You do this morning and night, it boosts your happiness. So gratitude journaling is really great. Journaling in general is really great because you can actually list out all of your thoughts, but gratitude journaling specifically is good for happiness and gratitude. The next thing is getting out in nature. Nature improves your mental health, and that can actually be combined with gratitude. So going for a walk and being grateful for everything around you while just taking in how amazing it is. That is a massive boost for your happiness and your mental health. Definitely do it. It takes 5 minutes of your day. It's worth it. It's super easy to do, completely worth it. The next thing is to destroy your addictions. Now, addictions are very bad for mental health. Lots of them are junk food, video games. I'm just going to use video games as the example for this video, so it makes it a little bit more easier to understand. So, addictions, almost all of them, are based on instant gratification. Instant gratification is it's a short-term boost of pleasure, followed by later on a drop in happiness. So this is your happiness level. Whenever you do something instant gratification, you consume instant gratification, it goes up and then it goes down. But now it stays at a lower period, because this is where it was before. Now it's here. You do it again, and then it comes back down. It drops to a newer low. It goes lower and lower and lower, and this is why we get depressed. Now, to get out of that, you do delayed gratification, which is the opposite, the exact opposite. It's like working out. You will feel bad while you're working out, and you won't feel bad in terms of like depression, but it won't be pleasure. It'll be, strenuous hard work. It doesn't feel that good while you're doing it. It'll go down, 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 and then after you're done, it'll rise to a newer high, and it'll go up and up and up and up. And by doing this, you can actually make yourself more happier. This is actually why meditation seems to do a lot more the longer you do it for. If you do a 1-minute meditation, little tiny boost of happiness. You do a 20-minute meditation, like what I do, it'll go down and it'll zoom super high. So this is actually how you would describe an addiction. It'd be instant gratification. To break an addiction, there's 3 steps I would take mostly. 1, which is to change your basic attack. This is something that another YouTuber called Hamza talks about a lot. What you basically do is you stop the addiction completely, cut it out, gone, okay? And after you do that, you replace it with something else good. Because if I was playing video games for 10 hours a day, and then I just stopped, I would have nothing to do. I'd be bored. And when you're bored, what do you look for? You look for, some sort of short-term boost of dopamine again. Because that dopamine is gone, you need to replace it with almost the same amount of dopamine. Normally you do this through delayed gratification. So if I play video games for an hour, I would then go read a book for an hour. If I eat junk food for 2 hours, I would then go replace that with eating healthy food for 2 hours. And by doing this, you actually can replace it, and it makes it a lot easier to break your addictions. The second thing is to not really focus on your addictions, unless you need it. If you're about to go play video games, focus on it and then pull yourself out of it with some discipline. If you are not about to go and play video games, don't think of it, because if you're constantly thinking, oh yes, I've made it to day 2 of no video games, day 3 of no video games, you're going to fail. Because I've tried it many, many, many times, you fail every single time. Just don't think about it. And the third thing is the most important thing, is to view it as not that big of a problem, and to view you as a person who doesn't actually do the addiction. You change your point of view. If I view myself as a person who's addicted to games, if I view myself as a gamer, and I think that breaking an addiction to games is hard, my brain is going to act and react as if it's hard, and as if I play video games. If I think, nah, I'm a person who'll go outside and I'll do boxing. I'm a boxer. And I just think about that all day. I'm a boxer. The moment I go to play video games, I'm like, I'm not going to go do this rubbish. I'm a boxer. And I'll head outside and do some boxing. If I view it as easy to break the addiction, I'll be like, nah, it's not that hard. No, I'll just go do some boxing. Too easy. Change your point of view. Don't view yourself as someone who's struggling with an addiction. View yourself as someone who doesn't do the addiction. Whatever the addiction is, someone who doesn't do it. Keep that in mind, and the other few tips, and these will help you, as well as just improving your mental health overall. They'll help you break tons of your addictions, instantly. 90% of the addictions will be gone the moment your mental health is really, really, really good. I mean, personally, that broke almost all of mine just overnight. So, the next thing is to lower your intake, or completely remove, I would actually say, completely remove all instant gratification. Remove it all. Get rid of your instant gratification and replace it all with delayed gratification. If you can do this, it'll boost your happiness massively, it'll boost your productivity massively, and it will definitely improve your overall quality of life. Instant gratification is lots of things, but it's stuff that gives you a short-term pleasure and in the long term doesn't help you. So if I was to go and watch a 30-second video of YouTube Shorts, which I myself find myself doing very often, if I was to watch 30-second YouTube Shorts, that would be instant gratification. If I watch a 20-minute video on YouTube, that would also be instant gratification, but not as bad. Then if I watch a 1-hour video, that's more of a delayed gratification, because it's long-form content. This is why most of my videos don't have tons of clips and stuff in them, because I don't want people to get hooked to my videos. I'm trying to help you break your addictions to instant gratification, not actually promote more of it. So the next thing is to do hard work. It means when you are trying to achieve a goal, because this kind of goes hand in hand, set some goals for the year. Write down 10 goals, and out of those 10 goals, pick 3 that you are completely passionate about. Your 3 goals that you have. If you had to pick 3 out of those 10, pick 3. Then pursue those 3. Put all of your focus into one, so basically 80% of your focus into one, and 10% into the other 2. By doing this, you will achieve that one, and you will also help to achieve these other 2. So definitely set goals, and then do hard work. So dedicate 2 hours, 3 hours to just hard work, which means you sit down, you do not click on your phone, scroll, and do rubbish. You don't sit there and just procrastinate. You sit down and you do the hard work for that designated time. And after you're finished, it's over for the day, moving on to the next task. This is what you need to do, hard work, because hard work actually builds discipline, and hard work is delayed gratification. If you were to go have cold showers, okay, lots of, you see, fitness people and fitness and athletes and stuff, they will actually take cold showers or ice baths, and by doing this, it doesn't feel good at all, but afterwards, they feel a lot better, and this is delayed gratification. But it's hard work, and it's uncomfort, and uncomfort and hard work and delayed gratification all make you happier in the future. So delay the gratification now and receive happiness tenfold in the future. The next thing was to set goals, but I've just told you that. So the next thing is to improve your physical health, because improving your physical health and eating healthier and working out actually gives you a massive boost to your mental health. If you are, because I've found this personally as a big problem, whenever I had poor physical health and poor diet, it contributed massively to my poor mental health. I did all the things to improve my mental health, but I was still depressed and sad. The moment I started working out and getting healthier, I felt 100 times better. It was the best moments of my life. So improve your physical health. That means work out every single morning. You can look up your own workout routine. I've got actually one on workout. You can check that one out. Learn more about diet and start eating healthier. Make sure the diet's optimized for you. And do some cardio, maybe take up a fighting sport, do whatever you can to improve your physical health. And I'll cover more on physical health later in this video, so definitely stay tuned to check that out. The next thing is to improve your social health, because social interactions definitely yield massive results for improved mental health. If you want to boost your mental health pretty fast, go and talk with some really good friends, have good conversations, good social interactions. Boost your happiness massively. Of course, when you're first starting to improve and go on self-improvement, you don't need to have lots of good friends to start with. You really just need to focus on all the other stuff for mental health, physical health, disciplines and mindsets and stuff, which I'll cover later, and then you work on social health. You have this period where it'll be like you're lonely, where you really have no one else that you're interacting with, and then after that, you'll have plenty of people who are just like you. It's not that bad. I've done it. It's perfectly fine. The next thing is to get disciplined. Discipline does not mean beating or, running your head into a wall 100,000 times because, that's a punishment for not listening. Discipline means doing the hard work even when you don't feel like it. And the only way to improve discipline, the best way to improve discipline, is just by being disciplined. It's really a broken loop. Every time you act disciplined, you become more disciplined. If I do the hard work, like if I am to work out in the morning, even though I don't want to, that will improve my discipline, which will make it easier to do it the next day. And when I do it the next day, it makes it easier to do it the next day. And it's a loop that goes on and on and on. It's a winner's loop. Big, major hacks and glitches and cheat codes for improving your discipline: cold showers. Cold showers, ice baths, these are massive boosts for discipline and mental health. And the last thing, if you want to do it, you can do a dopamine detox, which is where you cut out all the dopamine instant gratification for a period of time. It is recommended if you are highly addicted to instant gratification, but realistically, that's just how you want to live your life in general. The next chapter of this video is physical health. Physical health is the next thing you should work on after you've improved your mental health. And yes, physical health does contribute massively to your mental health, so definitely do both of these. I would say for the first 2 weeks of self-improvement, physical and mental health only. Mental health should be your biggest focus, like 80% of your focus on mental health, 20% on physical health. After the 2 weeks, 50-50. This is personally what I've done, and it improved my life within 2 weeks. Very simple. So, to start improving your physical health, start working out. It's the easiest thing you can do. Start doing some exercise. You don't need any equipment. You don't need any special gym or area to do it. You can literally just do push-ups, sit-ups, and squats, and that'll be fine. Start working out, because that improves your mental health and physical health. Personally, you want to be consuming plenty of protein. You want to be consuming carbs before a workout to prevent muscle loss. And when it comes to working out in general, you want to make sure your rep ranges are correct. So depending on what you want to achieve with it, you want to make sure that you are doing as much as you can without overdoing it. Make sure you're doing stretches before and after a workout, or just after a workout. Make sure that you are targeting both, every single muscle group twice per week, because that's most optimum. And make sure that you don't overdo it 7 days a week for 2 weeks. Don't do that. It's a lifestyle change. It is not I'll do it for 30 days and I'll be super fit and I'll remain like this forever. Lifestyle change. When you start, you never stop. You continue working out forever. So, start working out. The next thing is to improve your diet, because this plays massive roles in mental health, but also the biggest roles in physical health. You cannot just work out and go for runs to lose weight and to gain weight. You need to eat proper foods. And your diet can actually be optimized to give you the most energy, the most happiness, and the most results for your physical health journey. When it comes to diet, I would recommend you get enough fruits, you get enough nuts, you get the right amounts of carbs, sugars, fats, protein. Protein's a big one. Protein in general, you need to have about 1 gram per pound of body weight. Also, fats are not bad for you. As many people actually try and say this, cut out all fats, cut out all sugars. Sugars are bad, but you still need some sugars. Lots of fats are bad, but you still need a lot of fats. If you have too much fats, too much sugars, too much carbs, and too much protein, it's bad for you. If you have too little of all of those, it's still bad for you. So you've got to get that good middle ground for each of them. So do your research. You can work out lots of stuff, but focus on protein, carbs, healthy fats, and try not to worry about sugars too much, because lots of things contain sugar nowadays. The next thing is to do cardio. Cardio is definitely important. If you want to become fit and healthy and you want to be stronger, you definitely need cardio. Cardio also is a very good boost for your mental health. And if you do a quick little jog around your block, or just go for a quick run, that allows you to get that nature part of mental health. So you can do two at the same time. The cardio, pretty simple. You just go for a run, you don't overdo it, you slowly progress upwards, and you give it your all, really. Bring water with you, maybe a little snack before you go, but don't overdo it. Do your stretches before and after, and you'll be perfectly fine. The next thing is to fix all of your health problems. If you currently have a ton of health problems, like, you've got some disease that can be fixed, but, you haven't really treated it. You've got like an ingrown toenail, you haven't treated it. You've got a broken arm, you haven't treated it. You've got, there's tons of problems that people have that they don't deal with. They slowly deal with it. Oh, I've got to go to the doctor next month. And then after I go to him next month, I've got to wait 3 months to go to surgery. And then, no. Do it as fast as possible. You need to solve these health problems ASAP because they impact your mental health severely and they also limit your physical health massively. If you can fix the physical health problems and the doctors are putting it away for weeks and weeks and weeks, do your research and give it your all to make it happen sooner. If you give it your all, 100% effort, it will happen a lot sooner than it would have otherwise. Some people say, I can't really contact the doctor. I've got to wait for my doctor to get back before I can, go to them and see about the problem because they're on holidays. Go to another doctor. It'll be quicker. It doesn't matter about how it gets... It doesn't matter about how it gets done. It just matters that it gets done correctly. Gets done safely and correctly. It doesn't matter if you go to your normal doctor or if you go to another doctor. Do whatever you can to get rid of these problems ASAP. The next thing is to improve your discipline, which I already covered. Discipline plays a massive role in physical health, and it also plays a massive role in mental health, but already covered that. The next thing is goals, which already covered that. They play a massive role in physical health. I think that if it's your first year doing self-improvement, you should focus on mental health, physical health, and then, probably some sort of sport that you really enjoy. So a hobby you enjoy, mental health, physical health, these should be your 3 goals. The next thing is to pick up a fighting sport. Fighting sports are extremely useful because if you get into a situation in real life where your life is threatened by someone else or you are being put in harm's way because of someone else, you need to be able to defend yourself. Personally, there's many people who have experienced stuff like this in real life who haven't been able to protect themselves and the people that they care about, and boom, they get knocked out, put in hospital. You don't want that situation happening, plus it's a boost for confidence, physical health, and mental health, so it's a win-win. The next thing is to do some sort of jogging, running, kind of like fighting sport. It goes hand in hand with like martial arts and boxing, and that is parkour. Parkour allows you to escape bad situations if you are ever put in them. This goes completely hand in hand with a fighting sport. You need to be able to protect yourself, but you also need to be able to run away. Because every martial arts instructor will tell you if you can run away, you need to run away. Never get into conflict if it's not needed. But if you're in a situation where conflict is needed because there is no other way out, you need to know how to protect yourself. Also, nature. That's another good thing for improving your physical health. And that is it for physical health. The next thing is discipline, purpose, and mindsets. And this is a pretty big one, so this will take up a good amount of time. Discipline is doing the hard work, especially when you don't feel like it. There are many, many, many ways to do it, but personally, I found discipline to be one of the most important things in life in general. So many people today lack discipline. You see everyone, I don't feel like going to work, I don't feel like exercising, life's too short to exercise, and all of this rubbish. They have no discipline. If someone told that you need to do this to make $1 million, to make $100 million, they wouldn't even have the discipline to do it. Like, okay, get up, go for a 100-mile run, and by the time you finish that 100-mile run, we'll give you $100 million. They wouldn't do it. They just actually wouldn't do it. You would think, nah, some people would. Most people actually wouldn't. Most people don't have the discipline to achieve the goals that they want to achieve. They set a goal, I want this, and I want this, and I'm going to do it. And they don't do it. They get lazy, they procrastinate, they indulge in instant gratification, they sit around and they play the victim, and they never ever improve their life. You cannot play the victim and try and pin it on other people. You need to take responsibility, be disciplined, and get out and do the hard work, even when you don't want to. Because if your family didn't do the hard work, didn't go to work every single morning, even when they didn't feel like it, you probably wouldn't have had a roof over your head. They had to do it regardless. The only time that these people in the modern day actually will be disciplined is when they have to survive. They have to go to work to get money, to get food, to live. And even then, they're still not even focused on actually providing value to the job they're at. And they wonder why they stay in the worst position, never getting a raise at all. Need discipline is one of the most, if not the most important things besides mental health. The next thing is purpose. Now, what purpose is, well, your purpose. And the way you find your purpose is by sitting in a room, making yourself bored by having no distractions, and just sitting there. No distractions at all, nothing, sitting in a room, staring at a wall, doing absolutely nothing, not thinking about anything, being mindful and present. You wait until something pops into your mind that makes you curious, something that you can do that makes you curious. For me, I was sitting in a room, doing this exact same thing, and it popped into my mind, well, you've done self-improvement for a good while now. It's been just over a year. You've improved your mind, you've improved your physical health, your social health, your discipline and mindsets. The next step's wealth. Why don't you try and make some money so you're able to, progress through your self-improvement journey? So that was my purpose, and that's currently what I'm pursuing today. It's very simple to do this. Sit in a room, find your purpose, and your purpose is like an onion. Every single layer you peel off, there's a new layer, and you go on and on and on and on and on until you get to this center, and that is your core purpose. Your core purpose is what you are destined to do. It is your number one thing you will enjoy doing no matter what. That is what you're looking for, and the only way you find it is by peeling off every layer. Then you have mindsets. Mindsets are greatly important, just like discipline, because they allow you to get like a big advantage compared to other people, depending on the mindsets you have. There are a lot of mindsets out there that people can choose from, but here's just 3 that I find very, very, very useful. The first one is the Stoic mindset. Stoic mindset is basically just advanced emotional control. You're able to control your emotions in good situations, in bad situations, it doesn't matter. If you were to lose your whole house tomorrow and get hit by a car and end up in hospital with all your bones broken, you'd be optimistic and you wouldn't let it affect you. Most people wouldn't. They would let it affect them. And letting things affect you doesn't really help you in any situation. If you get hit by a car and all your bones are broken, getting upset about it and getting annoyed about it isn't going to fix the fact that your bones are broken. If you control your emotions and you don't let it affect you, you can think of how you can start to improve your life from where you are now. So that's why the Stoic mindset is so important. The next mindset is the student mindset, which means that you are continuously learning forever. You are always learning. You are never a master of absolutely anything. You are always learning. This is useful because most people will just quit like college, they'll quit university, they'll quit school, and they think that's it, I don't have to learn anything anymore. Life is all about learning, and the more you learn, the better you get at things, the better you get at life. The smartest people normally have good jobs, and the richest and wealthiest and fittest people normally have good knowledge on how to get there. You think Bill Gates just stopped learning? No, of course he didn't. He went out and he learned and he learned and he learned and he kept implementing all of these things that he learned into his life. He started taking action, and that's what made him so successful. The next thing is the hacker mindset, which many self-improvement YouTubers don't even know about. But a hacker mindset is the ability to see vulnerabilities in formulas and systems. The reason this is useful is whenever you write down a formula for a business or a wealth venture or your job, anything, there's always a formula. And whenever there's a formula, you can look at all the values, and if you have a hacker mindset, you can see how you can exploit them unlimitedly. With my last business that I was about to start before I swapped over to a better model, that business system had 3 unlimited values, meaning I could spend more money. I could spend $100, make $100 per day. I could spend $300, make $300 per day. but I could also spend $100,000 a day and make $100,000 a day profit. That's how broken that was. Never started that because there's actually a better system, but I might talk about that later. So, yes, you definitely need a hacker mindset. It is extremely useful. You can see vulnerabilities. Just like most people say, oh, cold showers and ice baths are really useful. They are useful, but no one knows the extremity of how valuable they are. You can have a 5-minute cold shower and it can boost your mental health massively, your discipline massively, and your health massively. That is a hack. And if you have a hacker mindset, you'll be able to spot out all of these things in stuff that you learn. So as you go about your life learning stuff with your student mindset, you'll be able to see all the extremely valuable things with a hacker mindset. So definitely get that. Then I would say that we'll move on to social health. To improve your social health, you just continue by improving your social skills, which means your speaking skills, your conversation skills, like holding eye contact, stuff like this. It is very useful, especially when you're trying to have a good conversation or trying to make friends. Improve your social skills, pretty easy to do. Just look up a video, go and watch that. Hamza probably has a video going deep dive into social skills, but I'm just going to say improve them. The next thing is to not care about what people think. So many people have social anxiety, and me, like myself, I've personally suffered from the same thing. I suffered from social anxiety so often, and that was last year. I was struggling with it a lot because I was always going for a run and there'd be some person on the other side of the footpath, and I would stop running and I would walk and I would try and look as normal as possible because I thought that they would think bad about me and that would make me feel bad. I don't know why. Many people suffer from this, but literally I couldn't even go for a run without being nervous and afraid of walking past someone and them saying something or thinking about something. And then I heard one quote from a guy named David Goggins, and he said, "We put so many people on a pedestal. We think that these people are better than us. We put them like they're higher than us. These people all have problems just like we do. All these people are not perfect just like we are. The only thing they do better is hide it. They go about their life pretending like it's not there. As with us, we are actually accepting that it's there. We are doing better than them because we're actually taking action and trying to fix it. They don't even do that. Do not put people on a pedestal. They are not any better than you. They may be better at some areas of life, like people online. I see people do that all the time. They compare themselves with others online. You are not competing against the richest people in the world. You're not competing against the fittest people in the world. You are competing against people like you. You're in a competition against other people just like you. So imagine there's a person just like you, okay? And he does everything, okay? Almost everything that he's supposed to. So when you wake up at 6 o'clock in the morning, he wakes up at 6. So that day that you decide, I'm not going to wake up at 6 o'clock in the morning, I'm going to wake up at 8, I'm going to sleep in because I don't feel like getting up. Guess what? He doesn't do that. He wakes up at 6 again. He's beating you. Don't wake up at 8. You need to wake up at 6 because you're in competition with him. You're constantly in competition with people just like you. So imagine someone who's just like you. Look for people who are just like you and only compare yourself against people who are just like you. If you've been on your self-improvement journey for 1 month, you're competing against people who've been on it for 1 month. If you've been on it for 2 years, you're competing against people who have been on it for 2 years. Every time you win that competition, you go up to another level. Of course, if you want to actually improve fast, only compare yourself to who you were yesterday or who you were last week. Whoever you were last week, you want to beat that one. You want to beat that person who you were last week, who you were yesterday. You want to be better than who you were yesterday all the time, so you're constantly improving. But if you really are going to compare yourself, only compare yourself to people who are in your level, who are on the self-improvement journey for 1 month, 2 months. They're the people you're competing against. And most people, Most people in the world you've already beaten just by starting self-improvement. Because like 89% of the population or something doesn't even know about self-improvement, is depressed, is anxious, is unhealthy, is obese, is promoting all of this rubbish, is trying to express themselves through anger and violence, doesn't control their emotions, and just spreads rubbish all over the news and tries to cancel people who disagree with them. You're already beating them just by trying to improve your life. Don't be so hard on yourself. Do not put other people, strangers, when you go out walking, when you go do stuff, do not put strangers on a higher pedestal than you. Like, I've started one business in the past. I've almost started a second one. I've been improving my life for the last year, and still I'll go out, and whenever I talk to my friends and stuff, I'll constantly be thinking, this person's better than me. This person is the same as me, or not. Most people around you are not better than you, or are just as good as you. Everyone has problems. Everyone has things that they've done good, and everyone has things that they haven't done good in their life. Everyone has problems and successes. The only difference is they hide it better from you. So compare yourself to who you were yesterday. If you have to compare yourself to people online, only compare yourself to people who have been on the self-improvement journey for as long as you have, or have been doing what you've been doing for as long as you've been doing it. Not by age either. And only compare yourself with, whenever you go out walking or you're having a social interaction with someone, do not put them on a pedestal. They are no better than you. All they do is hide their problems better. And if they don't, and they go out and admit it, and you're the one hiding your problems, then don't hide your problems. Pretty simple. But just don't put people on pedestal. That's all you gotta do. You can look up David Goggins' quotes about people and pedestals, and you'll probably find it. The next thing for social health is to get rid of toxic friends. Narcissists, psychopaths, sociopaths. Anyone who is toxic, manipulative, or terrible in your life, or is constantly out doing the bad habits that you want to stop, get rid of them. If let's say someone is fully addicted to video games, they play it for 5 hours, 10 hours a day, and you want to stop playing video games, and you go up to them and go, I don't really want to play video games anymore, and I think that you should stop because it's not really good for you. And they sit there and go, oh, what do you know, blah, 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 and they don't listen. You can try and help them, but eventually they're just not going to take your advice. It's better to, I could say, let your actions speak for you. Don't speak for your actions. You can sit there and say, I'm going to stop playing games because games are bad for you. And if you stop playing games, you'll live a better life. The person probably won't listen to you. If you just go about your day-to-day life, don't really, put all of your focus into them anymore. Maybe just cut them out completely if you can, if they're really toxic. And then you go for a year, no video games, and then you're super successful making 10 grand a month. When they look at you, they're going to be like, how'd you do that? Stop playing video games and I started improving my life. Let your actions speak for you. And get rid of toxic friends. The next thing is to make good friends. The complete opposite of what I just said to do. Make good friends. Pretty simple. And the best way to make good friends is just to improve yourself first. Because you attract the people that you are. If you are a person who's addicted to everything, who's procrastinating, who's a victim, who doesn't care about everyone else's feelings, who has anger issues, you're only going to attract people like you. You want to get better friends, you need to become a better person first. The moment, this is why the richest people of the world know the richest people of the world. Because they are the richest people of the world. They attract people like them. So, if you want to make better friends, just simply improve your life first. And the last thing is to improve your charisma, because charisma allows you to have better social interactions, and it's just a very good thing to have. So work on that. The final thing in your self-improvement journey, after you've spent a whole year working on the last 4 things that I talked about, then you can do what I've done, which is progress to trying to make wealth. And keep in mind, do not drop off all of these things like it was some part-time thing you're doing. They're all a lifestyle change. You'll continue to work out, do meditation, improve your discipline, and have social interactions your whole life. And you will still never be perfect at all of them. You're still learning for all of those areas I just talked about. But you can move on to wealth now, because you've improved your mental health, you've improved your physical health, your discipline. Now you can actually take all of those skills and apply it to trying to do some hard work and make yourself some money. Now, this kind of goes for people who have a job already. If you don't have a job, you can find ways to just start a side hustle because you have a job. Same way, doesn't really matter, but I'm going to speak to you as if you have a job. So keep that in mind. So, the first thing I would do to start, like escaping the 9 to 5 rat race and to become wealthy, is if you're working a job, you're working 9 hours a day, when you get home, start working on a side hustle. Spend a month working on a side hustle, and after that 1 month period, you should be making money. If you're not making money, you didn't put enough hard work into it. So, start a side hustle. After you get this side hustle to start, and it starts making you enough money that you can live off of, it's making the same as your job, you can quit your job and you can put all your focus into the side hustle. That'll turn it from a side hustle to a small business. Once it's a small business, you can start building it up, making more money. You can take it online if you want to, which will drastically increase it, but of course, it does cost a little bit to start up an online business, so make sure you have about 5-10 grand that you've saved up from the small business. Turn it into a full business, a proper one, with a legal name, that's online, that's professional, all of that. That'll take about 5-10 grand. Once you have that all set up, you can then have a full business. Build up this full business until it's making like $100,000, $200,000, $1 million. Hire more people to give you more free time, because the biggest thing you'll start struggling with now is free time, because it'll take up so much of your day to run it. So hire people. You want to hire as many people as possible to free up your day so you can work on improving it. Once you get the income up to a very good amount, like $1 million, 10 million, whatever it is, I would say about the 100 grand mark, or 200 grand, 300 grand mark, then you can then turn it to an AFK farm, or an AFK business. And what that essentially means is that the business runs itself. If you were to just stop working at the business, it would operate. Go and hire so many people, enough people, so that whole business runs effectively. Once that business runs effectively on its own, all you need to do is scale up the profit up to where you're making like $10 million a year. Done. You have an AFK business, a business you don't need to work at, that makes you $10 million passively. Simple as that. Side hustle to small business to AFK business. 4-step process. It takes about 1 year to start the side hustle and get it operating. In the second year, you should be able to turn it to a small business. Third year to a full business, and fourth year it should be an AFK business. So it takes about 4 to 5 years to get it fully up and running and making you that $1 million, $10 million income per year. But it's worth the trade. 5 years of hard work, every single day, dedicated to this business will make you $10 million a year, compared to working 40 years and making nowhere near the amount. This is personally what I would do. I've only got up to the business, the online part, and then I quit it and I moved on to a better formula, because my business system that I was actually working with needed 1,000 people a day, as with my new one only needs 1,000 people permanently. That's it. So I'm currently working on building this one up, and by the end of this year, it's estimated to make anywhere between $100,000 and $600,000. So that's going to be a really good business for me, and I really can't wait until it works, but this is how I would go about wealth. Now, before I end this video, let me just give you a few resources that you can use. Books that I would personally read for self-improvement would be The Millionaire Fastlane, because that teaches you a lot about why a job's not needed, and then more on business stuff would be .com Secrets, Traffic Secrets, and Expert Secrets by Russell Brunson. Really good books for business. Then for YouTubers who can help you out on this journey as well, I'd recommend Hamza, which he's a very good YouTuber for self-improvement, And I would also recommend Eamon Gadzi, which is very good for social media marketing. He's also good for some life advice as well. but not as good as Hamza when it comes to self-improvement, but still very good to check out. And then when it comes to discipline and motivation, I would say check out David Goggins. And if you want more on wealth, Hamza and also a few other YouTubers out there are really good for it, like I think his name's Andrew Hamosi or Alex Hamosi. Very good YouTuber for wealth, AI and stuff. Check him out. Also for crypto and investments, if you want to get into that, check out the Run Guys. Thanks for watching. This is a full video, and I hope you enjoy.